Hi guys, Mira here, back for another video. For those of you who don't know me, I'm one of the admins here in the NEWA Facebook community. I also do evidence-based skincare on Instagram and Facebook, and I will pop up my username up here somewhere. It's Coffee Then Skincare if you want to come over and say hey. I'm also a NEWA affiliate, so if you are looking to purchase your first NEWA or you need to restock on some gel, my code is Mira10 and you can use that for a 10% discount on your order. But I'm actually here today to talk about the new NEWAbeauty serum. This is their liquid gold hyaluronic acid serum, and I think it's a really special one. Two quick little notes here. As you can see, I still have the little sequin background. Well, I jumped around quite a bit, to be honest. I tried the nude background and I just could not, even though I ironed it, I could not get the creases out, so that was bothering me. And I also felt like my skin just looks better with this one. I mean, my skin has been looking a lot more hydrated anyway lately, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I don't know if it just reflects more, but my skin definitely looks nicer with the sequin background. So I'm still figuring out. It's a work in progress. But let me know if you guys like the sequins, if they're too distracting, if you want like white or black. I also know that a lot of you guys like the more casual, like kind of homey vibe of like filming in front of a vanity or something. So I could totally do that too. So if you have a second, please comment below and just let me know if you prefer a backdrop, if you like simple, if you like sequin, or if you would like me to film in front of my desk or my vanity or something like that. And then another quick little note is if you're watching this video before Thursday, the 21st of January, I am going to be on the NEWAbeauty Instagram account doing it live. It's going to be at 1 p.m. PST. I will be taking all your NEWA questions. We will be doing a little deep dive. It's going to be really fun. So I talked to a lot of you guys here in the comments, and I would just love to see you guys over there as well, and I hope you guys can make it. All right guys, enough yapping, onto the video. NEWAbeauty came out with their liquid gold hyaluronic acid serum. Now you can use this every day as a hydrator, to completely fine, but what makes this so special to me is definitely its benefit for enhancing radiofrequency results. I got this over a month ago, and it was really important to me to really be able to test it thoroughly. So when I got on here, I could talk about my results so far, my thoughts on it, as well as break down the ingredients and, you know, the other important information on it. I think it would be really easy to look at this ingredient deck and maybe think that it wasn't that special. The reason for this is I think a lot of you guys know some of the more popular everyday skincare ingredients like vitamin A, vitamin C. And this is not that, this is a really nice hydrator for every day. This is specifically to enhance radiofrequency results. NEWAbeauty is not like a skincare brand. They are in the business of devices, and they would not really come out with something that wasn't going to really enhance the results of their device. I will link the ingredient breakdown I did in the comments of this video, but I really want to discuss it because I think that the ingredients make this really special, and it's also really interesting. I really kind of dug a lot into these ingredients, and I was just really impressed. And I think it's also important to note that, as I kind of mentioned in the infographic, there is specific research done on the ingredients showing that they can enhance RF results, but because this is NEWA we're talking about, they did their own clinical studies showing that the formulation as a whole improves your NEWA results. So it just makes me feel very confident suggesting this to you guys, and it just really shows how thorough and how committed to research they are. The first ingredient of interest, which I'm going to totally butcher the pronunciation, so I will put it up here, but it's the hydroxyprolysilane. This is actually a really promising ingredient that I will definitely be looking for in other formulations if I can, just because there's so many benefits here. First and foremost, it does help increase fibroblast activity, which means an increase in collagen production, which really complements the goals of your NEWA device. But the other thing is that it actually better organizes existing collagen and elastin fibers, which is really important because as we get older, we're not just seeing a loss in collagen production, we're also seeing kind of a degradation of existing collagen and a disorganization, especially if you're exposed to UV rays and get oxidative stress and damage. As a result of that better organization, you're going to see a better hydration of the skin. This ingredient just has a lot of anti-aging and regenerative properties. The other thing too is that the NEWA device really targets the deep dermis. This is really helpful because a lot of skincare is only topical and it's only penetrating into the epidermis or the skin that we can see. Where the NEWA device is doing something that our skincare can't, and it's really targeting the dermis, which is where we see a lot of those age-related changes. However, this the hydroxyprolysine does help with the epidermis. Helps with cell communication with those keratinocytes. It helps with cell renewal. So it's really helping the skin from the very surface all the way deep into the dermis, and as a result, it's just really complementing that NEWA treatment, as well as kind of addressing, some things that maybe the NEWA does not address. So I think that really makes it very interesting. Now, the other ingredient of interest is the hyaluronic acid coated gold nanoparticles. These again have research showing that they help radiofrequency outcomes. There's also a lot of research on using this ingredient as a drug delivery agent, and that's where I found a lot of information about it. And it was actually really fascinating stuff. So they tried to use the gold nanoparticles by themselves originally to get into the skin. They basically found that because they're not biocompatible, that they would kind of cause an increase in free radicals produced by themselves. They would also not really get into the cells. And coating them with the hyaluronic acid really helped address this, and they basically said in the research that the HA acted as a Trojan horse to get this ingredient into the cells of the skin, and really, just makes this a much more effective ingredient that's able to really penetrate into the skin and do its job. So by itself, this HA-coated gold is really getting into the skin, increasing the production of collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid. So essentially this ingredient is working in a very similar way as the NEWA device. The other thing too, though, is that these gold nanoparticles are able to be heated by radiofrequency energy. And this is believed to be why, used together, it really accelerates and multiplies the radiofrequency results. So those first two ingredients are really what makes this so special and what enhances those radiofrequency results. They have added a lot of really nice hydrating and skin conditioning ingredients in here too, like glycerin, amino acids, some proteins. What those are going to do is really better hydrate the skin. Hydration is really important for your radiofrequency treatments. The skin does not really conduct current very well. So the more hydrated your skin is, the better conductivity you'll have, and this enables the radiofrequency current to better get into the skin. So if you're really dehydrated, you might not have an ideal treatment essentially. So these hydrating ingredients really help prep your skin for your radiofrequency treatment. The last thing I want to quickly note on the ingredients is that there is some fragrance in here. There's no evidence that fragrance is detrimental to in any way. However, I know some of you guys have a fragrance allergy, or you may be just really sensitive to smells. So I do want to note that. I did speak to NEWA, and they are going to be releasing a fragrance-free option. It just won't be for a little while, unfortunately. So if you're someone who avoids fragrance entirely, you might want to hold off on this. I will say that the fragrance does dissipate really quickly. And while I'm someone that avoids fragrance in my daily skincare routine, I will use it in the occasional treatment like this, and I have not noticed any irritation so far. Luckily, NEWA is really good about responding to customer feedback. They had switched to the Delicate Gel, which is their fragrance-free option based on feedback from you guys, and luckily they will be coming out with a fragrance-free option on the serum too. Now that we've discussed the formulation, let's discuss how to use the serum. You can technically use this before your NEWA treatments. Again, they've done the clinical studies on this, they've used it in clinics, so they do know that you can use it before if you would really like to. So in that scenario, you would very thoroughly cleanse your skin, and then you would apply your serum on dry, clean skin, and then you would finish with the gel, and you'd go ahead and do your NEWA treatment. However, NEWA does suggest ideally using it after the radiofrequency treatment. They just tend to always be on the conservative end of things, which I appreciate. And they just worry that using too much product before could interfere with the conduction and your treatment. So ideally you would do your NEWA treatment, rinse off the gel, and then follow up with the serum. But I know a lot of you guys ask about products that you can use before the treatment, so I did want to mention that you can technically use it before. Now, if you want to use the serum in your daily routine, you would apply it morning or night or both on slightly damp skin, and you would seal it in with a moisturizer or a sunscreen. The reason for that is that this is full of humectants. So humectants do best when they have some water to attract and bind. And then you definitely want to apply moisturizers to seal them in, because otherwise any kind of water-based product like this can evaporate off the surface of the skin. So if you apply it on damp skin and lock it in right away, you will get the most hydrating benefits from this serum. Lastly, my experience kind of thoughts as well as the demo. So I have really enjoyed the serum. I find that it's very light, it's non-sticky, it sinks into the skin really nicely. As you can see here, It's a lot more watery. It can kind of drip down my skin, and when I rub it into the skin and apply it, there's no stickiness and it sinks in really well. This makes it really nice for, again, if you want to use it before the radiofrequency treatment. Some hyaluronic acid serums I've tried have been kind of sticky and unpleasant to use. This is really nice. Again, there is a light fragrance. It's almost kind of like a more gender neutral kind of cologne. It's not super strong to me. And again, it does dissipate quickly, but I just want to make sure you guys know that. I've been testing the serum before my NEWA treatments. I felt like a lot of you guys would be curious about that. We get a lot of kind of requests and questions asking if you can use something before your treatment. So that's the way that I wanted to test it. The other thing is too, is that the NEWA radiofrequency device does offer the added benefit of something called electroporation, which we've talked about in the group before. Basically, the current applied to the skin opens up these temporary channels that can help penetration of other skincare ingredients. This does, also come into play after with products you're applying after your NEWA treatment. But I just feel like because I'm doing the treatment and the rinsing off the gel, I tend to get more benefit by applying something before, and this in this case. So I have noticed kind of a benefit to applying something before that I know is safe to use with the gel and won't mess with conductivity. The other thing that I've been really liking about this is that I'm someone with very dry, dehydrated skin. I also deal with hormonal breakouts. So I use pretty strong azelaic acid as well as a tretinoin to kind of clear that up faster. And it can make my skin very flaky and tight and dry. Because of that, it can kind of mess with the conductivity during my NEWA microcurrent treatments. And the other thing is that if you have very dry skin and you're cleansing your skin and then you're doing your NEWA treatment and you're washing off the gel, that can be a lot of rinsing that can kind of mess with the dryness even more. So what I found by using something that's safe to use prior to my treatment, when I go to do my skincare later on after rinsing off the gel, my skin feels a lot less kind of tight and dry, which is amazing. I do feel like as a result of that, it's made an impact in the hydration of my skin overall. I do use other skincare and treatments, so I don't want to say it's just because of this, but I've noticed that considering that I'm using a strong tretinoin and azelaic acid, normally my skin would be a lot more flaky. I'm just wearing a little bit of concealer and lip gloss and cream blush and brows and mascara in this video. My base is pretty light. So I feel like, it's not the sole reason that my skin is more hydrated, but it's definitely making a difference, which I love. In regards to the serum enhancing radiofrequency results, after a month of use, I really can't tell you that. Benefits could just be from using the NEWA by itself anyway. But what I can say is that I do feel like my skin has been more hydrated and that I've gotten better conductivity during my treatments. That on its own is a good enough reason to be continuing to use this. And I also feel like the clinical studies behind the serum and the ingredients in it also make it really worthwhile to use with radiofrequency. I will kind of finish this out by inserting a quick little clip of me applying my serum. I'm just in the bathroom about to do a NEWA radiofrequency treatment. So I just quickly apply it and then I go ahead with my NEWA and my gel. If you guys would like me to do an update after using the serum for much longer, please give this a like or comment below so I know that you guys are interested. If you guys have any other questions on the serum, please put them below. Really, any other questions on the NEWA device at all, I'm more than happy to help. It's why I'm here. And I really look forward to talking to you guys in the comments this week in the Facebook group, and look for demo number 3 next week. And I really hope if you guys see this before the Instagram live on the NEWAbeauty account, Thursday the 21st, 1 p.m. PST. I really hope to see you guys there. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Bye.